Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to the Hall Pass, episode 49. I double checked and I've been saying the wrong number for the last couple episodes, and you know what? I gotta be correct with this. So, I also made a couple of videos. I made them private, so really we're on like 55 or 60, but realistically on the YouTube account, if you take a look, it says 49. That's what we're gonna call it. So I took some down just for copyright issues. But welcome on back to the Hall Pass, everybody. I'm your host Nolan Hall, and it's been I waited a couple days. I was supposed to upload on Friday or Saturday, and I just wanted to wait a couple days just to see how things went around the NHL and if any news came out, especially with the Olympics, with that coming up starting on Friday. So we're gonna dive into some stuff today. Nothing too crazy. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Florida Panthers. So obviously, we'll talk about the Leafs. I want to talk a little bit about the trade deadline that's coming up right after the Olympics. I want to focus a lot on Anthony Stolarz. We're going to talk a little bit on Braden Point, Sam Bennett, and Anthony Cirelli. Some interesting stuff that happened there today. And we got some big events coming up too, so we'll start with that. And then I want to talk a little bit about the National League in baseball because there's some stuff there that I just find pretty interesting. I think it's worth talking about, even though baseball, we still got a month or so till I think this month we have spring training. That's right. So we'll have some stuff there. But before we begin, if you've been paying attention to the last couple episodes and you keep up with me and you keep up with the Instagram and you keep up with my TikTok, which make sure you guys go follow that, the Hall Pass on Instagram and TikTok. But the mustache is gone. The mustache is gone. I got a nice clean face. People like it. The girlfriend definitely likes it. So, I mean, whatever you do to gotta make people happy, you do what you got to do. But you know what? I think it's time. Time came up. It had to go. We've had it for. I started it for November. Everyone usually grows out a mustache in November. And I kept it. I liked it. So had it for November, December, and all of January. So 3 months with the mustache. It's we're not going to retire it yet. It'll be back eventually. We'll probably bring it back in the summer. We'll bring it back then, but it had a good run. It had a really good run. So shout out to the mustache. We hope to see you in some future episodes. Anyways, let's dive on in, and I want to start with today. There are some big. Fuck, man, my face looks so different on the camera. Sorry. Big sporting events coming up. Within this year, like there are so many big sporting events. Obviously, we got the Olympics in Milano starting on Friday. You got the Super Bowl on the Sunday, the February the 8th. And then what else you got coming up soon? You got the World Baseball Classic. That's something that also happens every 4 years. The last time we had the World Baseball Classic, Team Japan won it, and man, like it was super fun to watch. Then what else you got? You got the Masters coming up in April. Now, I like golf. I like watching golf. I like playing it. Do I keep up with all the major tournaments? No, but do I sit down and watch the Masters? Yes. And I bet you a lot of people are in the same boat as me that they're not keeping up to date with golf, but you watch the Masters. Everybody watches the Masters, whether you like golf or not. What else we got here? Spring training that starts in March or this month, February. Baseball regular season starts at the end of March, so I'm so hyped for baseball to come back. I can't wait to watch the Jays again, especially after the terrific run they had last year. And then you also got the World Cup of Soccer in June. I walk by the stadium every day where some games will be taking place, BMO Field. So yeah, that's realistically like the biggest tournament in the world. I'd say. I think like I'm not a soccer guy to be honest with you guys, but I think realistically that's the World Cup of Soccer is the biggest tournament in the world. So that should be cool when that rolls around. I believe it's June 12th when that starts. So pretty cool stuff there. Now let's dive into hockey. We'll start with hockey and we'll go to baseball. Not too long of a pod today, but we'll start with the Leafs. We last time we were on here, I think we were going for that tough stretch. No, actually, I was saying, yeah, it was during the tough stretch, and I said they got 3 big games coming up. They had the Sabres, the Kraken, and the Canucks. And I said if they can win 3 of those games, 3 of them straight, they'll be fine. And they didn't. They lost to Buffalo, and then they lost to Seattle. Buffalo, great team this year. They're playing super good hockey. They're moving the puck well, and they're definitely they look like they're going to be a playoff team right now if the train stays on the rails for them. So Buffalo's got a good team. They're fun to watch. They play quick. Shane Doan, that guy's been or Josh Doan, he's been fucking incredible for the Sabres. Tage Thompson's having an ever phenomenal year, and the goaltending's been great for them as well. So yeah, they're rolling right now. Seattle, I believe, is back in a wild card spot. I was impressed by their game the other night. But we'll go back to the last two games for the Leafs. They played last night, they played the other night against Vancouver. Got the win there. It wasn't a good game by any means. We did not play well. We won that one in a shootout. And I will say this. Getting Nylander back is just such a difference maker. Like, if Nylander wasn't playing last night, we get dominated against Calgary. We won last night against Calgary 4-2, for those of you who don't know. If Nylander, he's been back, he came back the Vancouver game, but if Nylander wasn't in the lineup last night, and you know what? You can argue if he wasn't in the lineup against Vancouver either, I don't think you win those games. You don't. I think the Leafs would go 0-4, or they keep on losing. Nylander has been such a difference maker. Last night was probably one of the best games I think I've ever seen him play. 3 points. He's had more than 3 points before, but he was flying, man. He likes to play. He does play well in Calgary, and that's where he's from. So I don't know if that's a bit of an advantage for him or not. No, I guess the word advantage isn't the right word, but I don't know. He just likes playing in Calgary. Guys like to play in certain barns. I feel like when everyone comes into Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, everyone has a good game when they come there. But yeah, so 2 big wins. The Leafs currently, as of right now, are 7 points out of a wild card spot. Boston's that second seed, and so if you do the math, the Leafs are at 61 points, if I'm correct, and Boston sits at 68. So a win tonight against the Oilers would move them 5 points. They come to 63. So I mean, tonight's gonna be a tough game. I don't think they win personally. The Oilers are They play good against the Leafs. McDavid dominates against the Leafs. Bouchard plays well against the Leafs. Draisaitl plays good against the Leafs. The Oilers tend to play really good at Rogers Arena. I believe that's their home rink, if I'm not mistaken. But they play well at home. And the Leafs are also on a back-to-back. And we know from past games this year how the Leafs play on back-to-back. It hasn't gone really well for them. So I'm a little sick. I apologize for that too. But yeah, it's gonna. If you can win tonight and move 5 points within a playoff spot, I think over the Olympic break, the momentum is going to switch from buyers to sellers. Like, it's tough. It's a tough spot, man. Because, like, if the Leafs lost to Vancouver the other night, I would have said, that's my final straw. Vancouver's the worst team in the league. Let's just get going now. But, like, my thing is, if you're sellers and you want to trade, if you're the Leafs and you have a first-round pick right now, and I mean, you trade it to Boston and you want to get that bottom pick, because I guess at that point, you're not going to play the playoffs. Might as well try and keep that pick. And even though we play like shit, get guys out of there as soon as you can. Then start trying. Like, I guess it's hard for management because you don't ever want to try and lose. But when you're sellers, your Leafs are trying to get that pick, man. So, but when you're I think the Leafs are totally capable of going on a streak and winning and getting into a playoff spot. 7 points out. Like, okay, realistically, a win's 2 points. 2, 4, 6. If they win tonight, then they'll be 2-4. A game, 2 games, 2 wins, and 2 Boston losses out of a playoff spot. I know there's other teams contending right there with them, with the Leafs, but I don't think it's tough. It's such a tough spot because you don't know exactly what they want to do. But it sounds like as of right now they're still sellers, and it sounds like Tree Living has been talking to teams. But let's say even they are sellers. I don't know I don't think they're just sending off everybody. I think there's guys will go. McMahon will probably go. They'll probably listen and try and get something good for Ekman Larson. People will call on Lawton, but I think they want to keep Lawton. I think that's going to be a thing they want to get an extension there. And Lawton has said that he enjoys playing with this organization. Couple other things. I don't know who Robertson people will call for. Troy Stetcher guys might call for. He's been terrific. He's my favorite Leaf defenseman on this team. Another thing I want to touch up on quick is Morgan Riley. I saw a stat today that he's out. He got hurt the other night against Vancouver, but I saw a stat the other day. But the Leafs are 23-5-1. I'm pretty sure without Riley in the lineup. And it makes me wonder, I'm just thinking, so Riley's out until the Olympics. He'll be back probably when we get back. So it's nothing super long term. He'll be back, I think NHL starts going again on the 26th of February. But Leafs got a win last night, right? He left the game halfway through against Vancouver. You won the game against Vancouver. You won last night against Calgary. Carlo, who you have paired up with Riley, played his best game of the season. I guess the Leafs picked their player of the game every game. They gave it to him, but I mean, it could have gone to anyone. Probably would have gone to Nylander if it was up to me. But Carlo played his best game of the year, and he wasn't played up with Riley. Um, I think if the Leafs win tonight, and not a lot of goals are going in, you got good goal differential. I think the Leafs management really needs to like take a look in the mirror and be like, okay, like how do we just spy out Riley, or how do we, or you got, or fucking set him. Well, he let him sit in the press box. Like I don't like hating on players at all, but like if you're winning games and there's not a lot of goals going in, don't get me wrong. I know Vancouver and Calgary are on the lower side of teams, don't have the best record, but if you could establish a good win tonight against Edmonton, a cup contending team, and just get a good win, not have a lot of pucks going in the net, and you're just an all around good defensive, good forward game, like good offensive game. I think the Leafs management needs to take a look and be like, hey, like we're playing really well without Riley, and we have in the past. Like I said, 23-5-1. Uh, I don't know. I think the Leafs management got to start connecting the dots there and see what goes on there. I guess we'll see, but should be a good one tonight. Now I want to touch up a little bit on Anthony Stolarz. Now listen, I'm gonna throw this out there. I'll probably post this on the social media page. I want to hear what you guys have to say on this, okay? Because I'm just curious. This is just my take. Now, let me know what you guys think about this. So the Leafs have the two starting goaltenders right now are Joseph Woll and Anthony Stolarz. We all know that. Stolarz just came back from injury. His first game back was against Vegas, so around a week and a half ago. Before that, it was Joseph Woll and Dennis Hildeby. Those were the two guys, or Hildeby filling in for Stolarz. And I thought Hildeby did a great job filling in for Stolarz. I thought he won us some big games. Like, he was a big contributing factor to the Leafs for winning some games. Yes, I know he had some rough ones, but like I think that he did a terrific job when having to fill in Stolarz' place. Now, since Stolarz has been back, I understand he's coming back from injury. He's not going to be phenomenal right off injury. But okay, people aren't going to agree with me on this. I wouldn't mind trading him. I wouldn't mind it. If you can get something good for it. I know the Leafs just re-signed him in the start of the year. It was like what, like $3 million, 2.5 million. I don't know exactly what the contract was, but listen, this is what I'll say. If I'm the GM of the Leafs, which I'm not, and I won't ever be anywhere close to that, I'm cool with having Joseph Woll and Dennis Hildeby as my two goalies. I'm cool with it. I mean, I know we've seen Stolarz do super well. I know that we saw him. He was our guy in the playoffs last year up until he got hurt, but I don't know. I mean, I like him. I think he's a great guy, but I think if you could get some good trade value out of Stolarz, I like Woll and Hildeby as their guys, and I think Hildeby is going to be really good. I think it's good. I just hope they don't trade Hildeby and it's like a Tuukka Rask situation all over again. I really like Hildeby. I mean, I don't know what the future will turn out with him, but I like him. I like him as our backup goalie, and I'm totally fine with Woll being our guy. I don't know. I mean, I know the Leafs did go through a tough stretch there, but that's also the stretch they went through 8-0-2 with Woll and Hildeby. Just saying. I think a good team that could maybe reach out for him. I know they've had goaltender issues for the last 3 years, but Edmonton, they got Jari. I know it hasn't been terrific, but I was talking to Owen Santos, who we've had on this podcast here before, but he just says we need 900 save percentage, right? And I think they could get that out of Jari, and I guess who's the backup there now, Ingram, from time to time. So, is it an option? I don't know if it's out there. It could be out there, but I don't know. I don't know what happens there. Just a take. Let me know what you guys think about that. Now we had some big news here today. Anthony Cirelli from the Tampa Bay Lightning will no longer be playing for Team Canada in the Olympics. He's dealing with an injury that happened the other night in the Stadium Series. So Sam Bennett gets the nod. He'll be playing for Canada. A lot of people argued that Cirelli shouldn't have been on this team to begin with, and Bennett should have been on this team. So I guess a lot of people probably end up getting what they want. I know Bennett did end up getting injured the other night. I think he left the game, but I guess he seems to be okay because he's going to play. And we'll talk on Braden. I actually do like this move. I do like that Bennett is on this team over Cirelli. No hate to Cirelli. I think he's a great player. Selke kind of player. But now, next up, Braden Point is another guy that's still kind of 50-50 right now as if he's going to go to the Olympics because we're not really too sure yet. He's been out for around almost 3 weeks. Listen, I like Point. If he's on this team, great, phenomenal. unbelievable player. But bit of a down year. I think unless he's 100% ready to go, I think you just reset your body, man. You play for Tampa. You're a cup contending team. You guys are having a phenomenal year. Reset your body for the Olympics. You might get another chance in 4 years. Probably. It's tough to say, but I think if he wants to be good in the long run, I think you sit out. And then I think there's three guys that are gonna get the call. If it's not Point, I think Bedard's there. I think Mark Scheifele's there, and I think Zach Hyman's there. And Zach Hyman's the guy that just kind of came into the picture out of nowhere. I think that right now, I think it's tough between those three guys. I don't know. So let me know what you guys think. So if Braden Point is out for this year's Olympics, we don't know yet. We'll probably find out probably within the next couple of days. Would you rather Zach Hyman, Connor Bedard, or Mark Scheifele fill in his spot? So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Now let's go over to baseball. Not too much else to cover with hockey tonight. Some good games on Ottawa. Ottawa's been doing well too. They're right there with the Leafs. Oh no, we didn't touch up on Florida. I want to touch up on Florida before we go anywhere. Florida is now bottom in the Atlantic. The Stanley Cup winning team is now at the very bottom of the Atlantic. They got the Chuck back, but I guess it's just like I know they've had injuries all year. Seth Jones has been out. They've had other injuries. Marchand had had an injury here and there throughout the year, but it doesn't. They're right now. They're 9 points out of a playoff spot. So obviously they're not going to sell anybody. They're just going to wing it out for the rest of the year. But I think don't try and sell anybody. I don't think you should even try and get anybody either. If you're Florida, it's whatever. You lose. It's not your year. Come back next year healthy. Have Sasha Barkov back. Have a full team. Have Marchand, Bennett, Jones, all your guys back. I think they'll win the Stanley Cup next year. I said they were going to win it this year. Injuries kind of deflected that and kind of made it impossible, I guess you could say. But I guess it's never. They're only nine. It's 9 points. They could do it. The Leafs could maybe do it, and I think that Florida could do it as well. You got one of the best teams on paper. You got fucking Marchand, Tkachuk, Barkov, Rodriguez, Reinhart, Seth Jones, Kulikov, Rodriguez, Bobrovsky in the net. Like they got a strong team. So we'll see what happens there. But nobody really saw this coming. I know that they were in a playoff spot a little bit early in the year, kind of fell off, were right in the borderline of the wild card spot there, and now they hit rock bottom. So I think this year for Florida, though, don't sell anyone, which they won't, but don't even try and buy anyone either. Don't give up any ideal big prospects or players or anything just so you could try and make a run and then end up probably not making it. Just don't do it. I think Florida's got to just, you know what, if we make it this year, we'll just try our best. We got like 25 games left. If we make it, we make it. If we don't, we don't. It is what it is. Alrighty, on to baseball. There's something I want to talk about here. I was just thinking about it. MLB, you got guys signing left, right, and center this last couple weeks. Obviously, Jays missed out on both Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette. But I want to talk a little bit on the National League. Because the American League, I think teams are stacking up. Like the AL East, Jays, Boston, Yanks. Maybe not so much the Yanks this offseason, but Red Sox, Orioles, Rays are going to suck this year. But AL East is stacked. A lot of other good American League teams have stacked up. So, but I want to talk about the National League because I think the National League this year, I was talking about it with some people at school, I think it's so weak. I think there's like 3 good teams in the National League. So let's go over it. So start off, we got the one division here, NL Central. You got the Cubs, Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds, Pittsburgh Pirates, Milwaukee Brewers, and the St. Louis Cardinals. So let's start off with this division here, and we'll talk about it. St. Louis Cardinals just traded Brendan Donovan to the Seattle Mariners. Nolan Arenado went to the Diamondbacks. They got fuck all now. They got traded for Dustin May, and that's really all they got. Cardinals, not going to make the playoffs. Unless they do, it's a miracle. I think there's no way this team makes the playoffs. Weak team. Next up, we got the Milwaukee Brewers. Traded away their ace pitcher, Freddie Peralta, which I'm so confused by. You guys were the best team in baseball last year. Trade away your ace. You have one more year left of him, I guess, if you're not going to re-sign him. But why? What's your starting rotation now? So, Milwaukee, best team in baseball last year. They're not going to suck, but they're not going to be the best team in baseball again this year, I guarantee it. Next up, you got the Pirates. Now, don't get me wrong. They're going to be better. They got Brandon Lau. They got Ryan O'Hearn. They got some other good picks, but still, maybe a wild card team. Nothing crazy there with them. Cincinnati Reds just signed Eugenio Suarez, the guy who hit 41 homers last year, 122 ribbies. He batted .229. Since going with Seattle, he's slowed down. We'll see how he does this year. But again, the Reds, probably wild card team. Next up, you got the Chicago Cubs. Now, this is a team I'll say is legit. They just signed Alex Bregman. You traded for Edward Cabrera. You got an Imanaga. You got a bunch of other guys. You got a strong team. Pete Crow Armstrong got a good farm system. I like Chicago. I think they're a top 3 team in the National League. Now let's switch to the other divisions here. New York Mets. You can argue that they got better. You can argue that they got worse. You got Bo Bichette. You got Luis Robert. You got Peralta. But again, you lost Pete Alonso. You lost Brandon Nimmo. You lost Edwin Diaz. Is it a better team? I don't know. Pitching wise, definitely not. Hitting wise, probably, I guess. But again, Mets probably still a top team, I guess. Braves. We saw what happened last year. I think that it is going to be a better year. A full year of Acuna, Albies, Olsen, Riley. If they could all be the best of the best and they could all be their healthy selves, they'll be a good team. Now, Phillies. I thought they were going to get Bichette, but they didn't. They re-signed Schwarber, which is good. Overpaid JT Realmuto. I guess they're still a strong team. Pretty good pitching. We'll call them a good team. Nationals absolutely suck. The rebuild was horrible. They didn't get what they wanted. They didn't get what they wanted out of Mackenzie Gore. He was a part of the rebuild. There's talks about C.J. Abrams getting traded now, and the only good guy really hitting in this offense, you got James Wood. So I don't know. Another weak team. Marlins, also another weak team. Traded away your ace starting pitcher. I guess you got Owen Casey in return. That's a pretty good trade. Got some pretty good prospects from the Cubs. But again, another mediocre team. Probably won't make the playoffs. Now we'll go to this division here. Dodgers, obviously, we know what they're capable of. They're probably going to win the World Series. They're going to win the World Series again. You got the Padres. They definitely got worse. Lost out on Luis Arias. Lost out on Ryan O'Hearn. You re-signed Michael King, which is good. But I think that they've traded away a bunch of missing pieces that you had last year, and I don't know how they're going to be this year. So I don't know. I think they'll probably sneak into the playoffs. Giants, I like what they've done. I like the Luis Arias thing. They also traded for, they also signed Harrison Bader. Giants, solid, or not too bad. D-backs, I don't know. I know Nolan Arenado is not going to be a difference maker. I don't think he is, unfortunately. I think he's a great player. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Great defensively, but his bat's starting to slow down. I mean, you got the Rockies. We know what the Rockies are. Worst team in baseball. I just think comparing the National League over to the American League, I just think the American League is so much more stacked than the National League. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, there's definitely some good teams in here, but the only solid teams you could say in here, the only super solid, I'm not counting the Mets. I don't think they have the starting pitching to do it, but Dodgers, Cubs, Phillies, maybe the Braves. That's it. I don't think there's any other team. Those 4 teams can make our NLCS World Series type teams. Everyone else, not a chance. Like, for an example, let's go to the American League. So the Jays, I could see them going to the World Series. Orioles, if they make a crazy run, I could see it, but nothing crazy. But again, solid team. Yankees, they totally could do it if they're all playing good. If they have a healthy rotation, definitely could. Red Sox definitely could too. I think the Red Sox are going to win the American League East. That's my bold prediction this year. Rays suck in the AL East now. You go to Cleveland. Solid team. World Series team? No. Tigers still have Schoolwell. If they did what they did last year, chance. That not World Series type team, but still solid team. Mariners, super good team. I like what they did with the Brendan Donovan thing. They have arguably one of the best starting rotations in the league. Houston, still solid team. You got Carlos Correa back for another year. The pitching, you signed Tyson or Amai. I think it's going to be all right. Probably still kind of. They'll probably make the playoffs. Athletics, I think they're going to get better. You got a good hit. You got a super good hitting lineup, offensive lineup. They're signing guys for long-term extensions for cheap deals too. Jacob Wilson, 7 years, $70 million. That's a pretty good deal. Starting pitching's a little shaky there though, but that's the AL West. And then you go to AL Central, White Sox. They're going to be better. Trust me. They got a good young system. You got the Twins. I don't know. The Twins will suck. And then Cleveland, Detroit, so the other ones. So yeah, I just think the American League is a whole lot better than the National League. That's all I got. I was just trying to prove a point, kind of just a lot of teams are going to the AL. I don't know. But man, what are we at now? 24 minutes. Yeah, longer pod here today, but we're filming this here on February 3rd, I believe. So yeah, this is gonna be out here probably around 5 o'clock, 5:30. So yeah, we're gonna be back here. Olympics are starting on Friday. We'll be back here on Saturday. Talk a little bit about some of the opening stuff that happened for the Olympics. If the Leafs could beat the Oilers tonight, that'd be pretty crazy. 5 points in within a playoff spot. That'd be pretty cool after being 10, I believe. So we'll see what happens there tonight. Should be a pretty good one. Watch McDavid go. So yeah, we'll be back here on Saturday or Sunday. And yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in to episode 49 of the Hall Pass. I'm Nolan Hall. We'll be back in a couple days. Thanks for watching, folks.